Hello, welcome everyone. So this is the first night in 4 years that Danielle Marie is not with us. So we're not celebrating that she's not here. we, we, we are, we are celebrating what she's created, which is this amazing event with an incredible community that turns out month after month. And in fact, a sponsor that has been with us for over 3 years. So I think that's pretty phenomenal, especially when you consider our industry. So thank you. Can't quite clap, but I am clapping. Not sure if my aim is on. I think the mic's in front of it. Maybe Matt, you can help me. Fantastic. Well, this is me welcoming you. And the next slide as well. We did practice this and it went really smooth. So you can tell it's a very much a live event. No, it's not doing it. But welcome everyone. This is the next slide anyway. Again, we have Labris, which is an amazing sponsor of ours. And we couldn't do this without our beautiful community too. So I just actually wanted to highlight some of our community members. And that is Renee, who made the beautiful food board that you see today. So not only is she a trained chef, but she's also got a master's in public policy and communications with some economics background as well. And then we have Jen, who is usually on the door. Jen. She might be still down there. This is how hardworking she is. But she has an accounting background and also a background in masters and things in economics as well. And then we have, look, we're alive. Fantastic. I'm pushing every button. Well, that's embarrassing. Thanks, Matt. So yes, this is all of our sponsors. We literally couldn't do it without everyone here. And so I talked about Renee. Paul is also here tonight as well, who is an amazing DGen. But he's also doing the Diploma of Applied Blockchain, which is something we're both doing together, which is a fantastic piece of study that we're both trained under Danielle as well. And then Matt, I couldn't be here and not speaking about Matt as well, one of our other major community kind of behind the scenes person. And he actually has a trained classical pianist. So I think that's pretty radical and interesting. So that's just a bit about the community that helped us put on tonight, and one that we're really grateful for. And we'll see, obviously, Danielle highlighted a bit later this evening as well with the whole video. So I won't miss out on one of our leaders. But again, thank you to our sponsors. We literally couldn't do evenings like this without them. So we're very, very grateful. We actually have a new sponsor down the bottom right, I should say, Granton, that was literally added today. So it's a sponsorship community that is growing. And just missed one too. We have our collaboration partners. So Ali is actually supporting us in real life tonight, which is a cool kind of change. And she is part of Wave of Innovation, which is a fantastic partnership that we've just started as well. So keep in touch with us via our newsletter. This is a bit of a different type of newsletter. It's not so much news, but it's all about community and kind of community events. And I think that's what really sets us apart. We have people that come here month after month that are feeling incredible. And obviously I just highlighted our volunteers as well. And so now onto the star, Matt. So I'll just pass it over to him, and thank you, Matt, for organising tonight in absence of Danielle.
Certainly not the star. I'm just a humble body. I'm a technologist. I love emerging tech, and I'm really interested at the moment in DLT AI intersection personally. So AI can help DLT and DLT can help AI a heck of a lot, I think. But we won't talk about that too much. We're going to hear from our friend Danielle now. As Rachel said, it's literally the first time. Danielle founded this meetup 4 years ago and has had a number of co-organisers, of which I'm one at the moment, over the years. But this is the first time ever, due to travel, she's not able to be with us tonight. She's never far away though. We've been in the WhatsApp group tonight. She's been helping us with the drinks order and everything all the way from Vietnam. God bless her. So thank you, Danielle. I don't know if she's tuned in, but she might watch the video back. Danielle recently organised what turned out to be a heck of an event in Singapore Singapore along the sidelines of Token 2049. And well, I can't really do it justice, so I'll let this video do the talking for us. Just turn up the audio, Rach. Turn mute off on the leftmost button. We'll roll this again. That's my bad, sorry. So close.
Gamified Unleashed. We're bringing together blockchain, Web3 gaming, and innovation for a night
Let's go
that you're
back
not
again.
going to forget. Well,
Here we go.
welcome to GameFi Unleashed at Token 49 here in Singapore. I'm Danielle Marie, your Web3 Super Connector, and also your host for tonight's event, Gamified Unleashed. We're bringing together blockchain, Web3 gaming, and innovation for a night that you're not going to forget. Welcome to Token 49.
Having way too much fun. They're good friends from Hashlock. Everyone knows Jock and Fletch. All right, how about a big round of applause for All Things Blockchain going global? All Things Blockchain going global with Danielle. She doesn't sit still for long. And Rach, if you could just click on top so that just click anywhere like on the slide. Yeah, I'm back in control. Thank you. So events coming up. I'm happy to launch today. Our next event, as we usually do, we try to get the next event out the same day as we've got the event on. For 5 weeks from today is actually going to be on the second Wednesday. We are going to be having Jock and Fletch all the way from Newcastle with their talk on how to not get wrecked. I always get the words around the wrong way in that one. How not to get wrecked or how to not get wrecked. Whichever one it is, we're not going to be doing it. We're going to be staying safe. Hashlock are a wonderful auditing firm, as many of you will know in the space. That's a month today. QR codes, QR code clickathon for those who want to sign up. We make sure it's as easy as possible to get to our events, and those of our friends, of whom Deca is one. Deca are putting on the Blockchain Awards once again, the black tie event this year on the Thursday, the 22nd it is. It's in the lead up to, or is it 21st? 21st. It's in the lead up to Oz CryptoCon, which is on the 23rd and 24th of November. Get my words right in a minute. In Sydney at the ICC. Deca also working very hard on promoting events right across the industry. They've got an app, actual phone app that they've developed with a tech partner that's coming out soon, which will be accessible to Deca members. And they also have a publicly available calendar here of industry events, which pulls in events from all around the country. Speaking of Oz CryptoCon, there are the dates. It's creeping ever closer. Get a little discount with the ATB10 code there for those of you. I actually took advantage of that myself, I must say. So that was handy. Our friends at Oz CryptoCon doing that for the 3rd year in a row. And we're happy to announce also this week, we're partnering with Deca to put on a Christmas party in the middle of Christmas party season. So Wednesday night, the 4th of October. God, man, I only had half a beer. The 4th of December. What I'm trying to say is that it's at a different venue. It's going to be at the precinct where we're moving back to after next month. So we'll be christening the precinct as an ATB venue again from December 4. And we're really looking forward to partnering with Deca and getting the good word out there. Anybody who's able and interested, we're always on the lookout for just some casual volunteer help. Just anybody who can help clean up, put away a couple of chairs. That'd be great. AI helped me make this graphic, so don't blame me for the look and feel of that, but it helped me generate that. And with that, we were to hear from Lockie. Labris, as Rachel said, are a very long-term partner. We really enjoy working with Labris, and Labris are, well, they claim to be, and I think are, the most established Web3 development business in the country, and certainly by the headcount. I mean, we must have, how many of your staff here tonight? I reckon 15. I reckon 2% only. Yeah, that's how big they've gotten. So I've got some aspiring devs here. Actually, I haven't done very well. I've got some aspiring devs, and I know a person, Yasi, who's actually lecturing, I notice, in engineering, among other things. I looked you up on LinkedIn after I met you. This is what I do. I'm trying to become like Danielle. I'm trying to become a super connector. That's what it's called, a super connector. So I like to connect smart people. And Yasi is one. Sitting next to her is Mernaz. Mernaz is wonderful. She came up to me at the Upside event full of confidence. Like, I love working with young people. She's like 21, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. Comes up to me, makes me feel like I'm 21 again. And really good to have those sort of people here. You're going to be inspired by what Emilio has to tell us tonight. Where's Emilio? Oh, there he is. He's waiting for me to finish my boring preamble, during which I'm trying to be funny. All that is to say, Lockie was going to introduce Emilio. Emilio has had an interesting and checkered path and has now become the growth manager and business analyst at Labris. I think I've said enough. You're all welcome. Thank you all for coming, every single one. I know it's an effort. Some have come from far. Thank you very much. I know it takes an effort to come out every month, and we really appreciate you. No more from me for now. It's Emilio from Labris.
I need to manage a mic and this, so wish me luck. Yeah, first I wanted to say, Loki, it's very, very sick. So I thought I'd be telling everyone what we do at Labris. These are some of our clients, but yeah, basically we build, I guess, Web3 products. You might recognize some of them, but yeah, this is pretty much what we do. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, you know, when Shanka, our HR person, told me, hey, you know, you want to do the ATB talk? And I'm like, yeah, sure. This was in August. So when is it? In October? Yeah, sure, that's 2 months, right? Then, yeah, we were very, very busy lately, but in September, you know, Shanka told me, oh no, I think Matt told me, hey, you know, what are you talking about? And I have no clue. And then, so Shanka, when is it? In October. What date? 2nd. So fuck, you know. So here we are. So I prepared this not too long ago, and I didn't know what I was talking about. So I thought, okay, I'm going to tell a bit about how I got into blockchain, because I thought could be sort of inspiring for those who are passionate about the space. I'm sure most people here are. And I'm not a dev. I think that was sort of interesting. And yeah, I guess being a Web3 native helped me getting a job at Labris, I guess. So yeah. Yeah, so a bit of the agenda. So I'm going to tell a bit of my, I guess, professional background. So you see where I come from, and, you know, you see it's not that crazy to get a job in Web3. And then, you know, how I studied and, you know, a bit of the crypto cycles I've been involved in, not so many. Hot tips, how to break it in the industry, yeah. And yeah, some, you know, I think blockchain is here to stay, why I think Australia is a bit behind in terms of adoption. And then I'm going to be talking about some, you know, what I call consumer crypto and some apps I like. But yeah. So yeah, I'm from Argentina, if you didn't pick up on my accent. But yeah, I'm an industrial engineer. I worked in Argentina for 4 years. But then I moved to Hungary, actually, to Budapest, where I work in Anheuser-Busch InBev, which is very big, if not the biggest brewery in the world. Supply chain roles. And then I moved to Australia. I work for Compass Group, which is the biggest, I guess you call it, food service company in the world. Also supply chain roles. And then 2022, I moved to Labris. So, oops, that wasn't supposed to be. Anyway, so these were my position titles before Labris. And you see, it's always something analyst, mostly supply chain. And I guess what I try to convey here, it's if you do pretty much anything in a professional, you know, employer, you could do the same, I guess, in a crypto company. So this led me to join Labris as a business analyst. And if you are any of those, and probably different other things, you will be able to join any crypto company as something, whatever you do now, right? So yeah, and obviously this exclude devs because I'm not a dev. And for devs, I guess could be somewhat easier to break into the industry, but yeah, if you really want to get in, so there's many ways to do so. Yeah, so I have a friend who told me, you need to look into this. This was 2018. And I thought, yeah, sure, I really like this guy, yeah. So yeah, I think it was July 2018, I bought my first coin. It's actually a really good moment to buy. This is middle, if not the worst part of the bear market of the previous cycle. So yeah, I've been buying coins, you know, like anyone does. But took 2 years for, I guess, the penny to drop and really understand what I was doing. So you wonder, you know, what happened, you know, in 2 years? Yeah, I was buying coins in whatever, like, you know, CoinSpot and reading Medium blogs. And I'm not going to name the coins I've been buying there, but I guess you can guess some of the, it's still in the top 10 sort of ghost chains. Can tell you after. But yeah, so first sort of learnings here, it's don't ever marry a coin. And the problem here is when you marry a coin, which I certainly did, is you cannot see beyond. And basically those 2 years, no were time lost. I'm still grateful I discovered that coin. But I guess I could have made better decisions, put it that way. So yeah, cultish communities, always a red flag. Now we know, I guess. Find your niche in the sense, try to find something that you like and not, you know, do everything, you know, DeFi, NFTs, AI, blah, blah, blah. Just try to find something that you love and research and get into it. And if you can get a mentor, I didn't have that luck, but a mentor in the sense, an investing mentor, someone who's been in previous cycles. Yeah, and this is just, I guess, learning investing. But yeah, I was very lucky to get at this point because this was the very beginning of the DeFi summer. And by this point, I didn't really do any transaction on chain. So I was actually doing my first transactions when Ethereum gas was, you know, $100, $200. I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, fun times. And you know, at this point, there was no Binance, no Avalanche, no nothing. Pretty much the only, no Solana. Pretty much the only smart contract platform was Ethereum. And because of that situation with the gas, there was a massive, you know, amount of chains to play right after. I think BSC launched in September, October 2020. And that's when I really started doing more transactions, I guess. But yeah, then NFT mania. I'm sure some of people here like NFTs, yeah? And then, yeah, some learnings before the bear. So yeah, don't marry your bags, sell when you need to sell. You know, you won't buy a house out of the $1,000 investment you made. Yeah, don't be greedy. And again, cultish communities, always a red flag. And I guess you remember those three, yeah? Or you need some names and shames. So Do Kwon, what is it? Mashinsky and SBF, they all ended in prison now, yeah? Or behind bars. Then you're not going to talk much about the cycle, but I think everything started on the BTC run-up ahead of the ETF approval, which started out of some grayscale decision on the SEC or something. But yeah, pretty much since October last year, things are looking much better. Some scares we've had not long ago, but I think we are good with the halving happening early April, May. But yeah, so before we move on, I want to ask here, so raise your hand if you come to crypto initially because of the money and only because of the money. Yeah. But now we are all in it for the tech, right? Everyone for the tech, yeah? Cool. Yeah. I was only about the money too. Oh yeah, another learning just to sort of finish off with the learnings. But yeah, this is from Token, and I thought it was really interesting, because especially when you're a beginner, it's very, very easy to fall for this. And yeah, there was this called award night where the calls were awarding each other, and they are really, who knows that call? Not me. But yeah, there's a lot of this in the industry. So I don't look at Twitter. Everything you see there is pretty much paid for. And that's something that our friend Seneca put, another call, I guess, but a good one. And these people would get these messages all the time. Basically, give you money, you shield my token, and then you get out, yeah? So I recommend don't doing, any financial purchase based on Twitter timelines. This neither. So when you see a video with this kind of thumbnail, probably not good either. Yeah, so I guess let's start with the hot tips. So yeah, a bit of my journey. So in 2020, when I said I really started understanding things, so I joined this, still I think active, but called Nuggets News, it's a community from Australia, which is now, I guess, Collective Shift is an offspring of that. But yeah, this was middle of COVID, so I was very bored and learning blockchain. I thought, okay, I might as well take a course at RMIT online. So I took this course called Designing Blockchain Solutions. It was pretty basic, but to be perfectly honest, I put the certificate in LinkedIn, and I'm sure Shanka contacted me because of that. Otherwise, LinkedIn would have been, suggested my profile. So yeah, ended up being useful. I joined the Daily Way community, which is, I guess, Ethereum-centric community based in also Australia, at this point global, but led by Anthony Sassano. And then 2021, I started getting, I guess, more involved. So I started doing the Daily Way in Spanish, which is a translation of the Daily Way newsletter. This was one article every Monday to Friday, and I was doing this every day of the week during 2021 up to 2022. And it was, like demanding at times, but I learned a lot about Ethereum just by doing these, translations before ChatGPT times. I started my own community. This is nothing big, but first on WhatsApp, then now we have a Discord, probably over 100 people there, mostly Spanish speaking. But if you're interested, I can invite you to that. Then I was ambassador at APY Vision. So APY Vision is still around. It's a tool to track LP performance and impermanent loss, which is if you are a liquidity provider, for example, indexes. So yeah, very cool tool. I was doing threads at Liquidity, which is one of my favorite apps in crypto. I eventually joined the growth committee at Index Finance before it was hacked and closed shop. And I joined Crypto Testers community, which is also a very cool community there's founders, there's a lot of cool people there. And then 2022, I joined Labris and I did a DeFi talent. So that's a course, which if you really want to do, I can recommend. It's based out of Europe. And it was, very good, mainly for networking purposes. It's also open to, beginners. So there's a links on that. So if you want to have a look and are interested, come to me. I know the people there and I can, introduce you if you're interested. I think that's it here. Oops. Oh yeah. So hot tip 2, and this is the most important thing. Everything came because of this advice I'm going to give now. It's be curious, be on chain. And this means doing transactions. I know this can sound scary at times, but right now it's way cheaper than 4 years ago. It's much more secure. Most wallets, and there are tools, extensions, blah, 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 that if you have them, you probably won't get rugged or scammed or hacked. It's much more fun. In 2020, there was really little things to do. Now there's a lot of applications. Before it was pretty much Uniswap and 5 other apps. That's it. So it requires a bit of practice if you need to move money across chains and all that, but it's not really end of the world. And for some apps, this requires money, but you need to think of this as a cost of learning. So I know that this is sometimes a barrier for people to be more, on chain, but it's gonna pay off, and I'll show you in a sec. But yeah, doing transactions in testnets is not the same, and trading on a SEX is not the same. So if you are, and this is funny because every time I'm in meetups here in Australia, say, oh, Australia, there's a lot of adoption, 20% of people, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, being on an exchange is not being on chain. Yeah, you have your crypto there, but yeah, be on chain. Become a tester, provide feedback, you will learn and you will be rewarded. Yeah, so this is the next section. Yeah, what I think blockchain is here to stay, and there's this word PMF or product market fit. We talk a lot in crypto, I guess in startups world, but yeah, this is when a product effectively meets the needs and desire of a well-defined target market. Means that the product is in demand and customers are using it, valuing to solve it, a particular problem, or fulfilling it. So yeah, I think blockchain, unlike maybe 6 years ago, where you don't know if it's gonna disappear, it's a fad or blah, blah, blah. This is, here to stay. But I'd like to ask you which, in your opinion, products or tokens have achieved product market fit? Any guesses? Tokens, let's start with what, Bitcoin? It's called market fit, yeah? It's not going away. What else? Yeah, Ethereum too, but stablecoins, I think, have achieved probably more than smart contract platforms. There's 200 billion of them around. This is not going away either. I put Ethereum there, but I think many smart contracts platforms, Ethereum was the first, but yeah, this is not going away. And then some apps, I guess, like, Uniswap or Dexys in general. I think every DeFi blue chip is not going away. And actually DeFi as a whole is not going away either. We can discuss that in a sec. And yeah, things like ENS and identity solutions, I think, are a perfect use case for, blockchain. Yeah, next is why I think Australia is behind in adoption. This is part of the last Chainalysis crypto adoption report. It's not out yet, but you can sign up and get it when they have it. But yeah, based on a 0 to 1, you can see Australia. As much as we think that we are early adopters, it's not so much. And actually, most of the adoption is happening very, very, very close to us, right? Southern Asia, Oceania, and pretty much everywhere but Australia. And then obviously the US, most of the capital and apps are born there, you can say. But yeah, so this is, I guess, the first 18 countries. None of them is Australia. And you'll see that most of these countries have very bad inflation, like mine, or are in wars, or are a censor like Russia, or something bad is really happening, or they are just developing countries, right? So they tend to be more adopting of this technology. And if you're wondering, like Australia is 39 on this ranking. But why? So in my opinion, like the more developed the country is, and this I think is mainly Western countries, right? The less need for blockchain there is, right? So here in Australia, we have really good payment systems, near instant, Pay ID and all the things. We never had confiscations like we had, in Argentina, for example, but Cyprus, other countries. The inflation environment is okay, sort of now. And people don't have the culture here of saving or maybe investing in USD. You just invest in property, right? Everyone loves real estate here. Regulations are not great, but I'm not going there. And yeah, on the other hand, people of less developed countries like mine need crypto or blockchain to protect themselves from their own governments. So we have here inflation in Nigeria, 33%. That's scary, right? Argentina, not long ago, like December, 270%. You don't want to be on the local currency, do you? Venezuela 2021, 2000%. Not good. But yeah, Turkey, Lebanon, it's all the same, right? As I said, in some countries like mine, the money will take your USD savings, so no good. And if you're in a war like the Ukrainian people, if you have a ledger, you can take your crypto savings with you, which is much easier than taking, I don't know, a bar of gold, something. But yeah, this is why I think Australia, as much as we like to think we are advanced, we are not so much. But yeah, moving on. Yeah, I saw this right after Blockchain Korea Week. Can't remember who put it on, but it was on Twitter. And it's basically explaining the South Korean market. But yeah, basically South Korea has 52 million people. Apparently 10 million of them are in centralized exchanges and only 10,000 of them on-chain. Do we have someone from South Korea here? Is this right, MJ? Does it sound right? Yeah, you never know, right? Because you move on circles where everyone is on chain. But if you draw this, with Australia population, and this is purely speculation, right? But let's do, these quick numbers. So we have half of the population in South Korea. Let's say there are 5 million sex users, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. But let's say there are 5,000 on-chain users. Let's say there are 10. Let's say there are 15,000. This is very, very little on-chain users, yeah? So this means that if you are on-chain, you are part of a very small percentage of population. And if you really wanna, break it in the industry, and if you're on-chain, you'll have an edge over other people. With that said, I think we go into consumer crypto. We can do questions later, yeah? So I really put this, and I purposely exclude financial use cases because I don't want to recommend anything financial, but the idea is that you go and try these applications. Most of them don't require any tokens or money, and you can be on-chain sort of for free. But yeah, the past 10 years have been very much about, finance and these financial use cases. The next 10 years will be about these kind of apps, which include, news, politics, sports, health, fitness, blah, 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 blah. Basically things we do every day, not necessarily financial. And yeah, I think this is a segment of crypto that has the potential to really onboard the next billion users, as we often hear. So I leave this just for you to maybe look at it later, but yeah, this is a good sort of map of the consumer crypto landscape. There are some people you can follow there. And yeah, some of these apps have already become pretty much mainstream. We'll see a couple in a second. But before I go into this, 4 or 5 apps I like, when you think consumer crypto, you need to think of a use case that blockchain is really solving, as opposed to try to, you like Airbnb and I say, okay, I'm gonna do Airbnb Web3, well, probably you will fail because Airbnb, it works very good. And, maybe that use case is not the right one. And we had a client wanted to do Web3 Airbnb and, didn't work. But yeah, you need to think when there is an industry with an actual problem and how blockchain will solve, will help solve that problem. So when we talk about betting and prediction markets, and also it's really like a good punt, yeah? There's a lot of problems in the industry as is. But yeah, lack of transparency, high fees, and withdrawal delays, and geo restrictions, blah, blah, blah. And this is a perfect use case for blockchain-enabled betting or prediction market applications. Who knows of Polymarket here? Someone heard of Polymarket, yeah? It's pretty mainstream now, especially with the elections and all that. But there's also football and, Super Bowl or other things. And yeah, it's a binary thing. You basically, bet yes or no. This is my favorite market. Who watched the debate today, the VP debate? Wasn't that fun, but yeah. So basically the price of the share, it's the probabilities that the candidate has to win. So in this case, Kamala is 50.3% favorite. And this runs on a binary limit order book. And yeah, you can sign up with your socials and deposit with your credit card. And if you have, USDC, this runs on Polygon. And yeah, pretty cool app. If you want to try it, I think it's perfect. So you can see how the app really exploded this year in, I guess, volume of usage. And yeah, so this chart here is from this table here from September. So $175 million in volume was for the presidential election winner. Many of the other markets are also related to politics. But yeah, there's also NFL and some other things. So yeah, very cool, to the point that in mainstream media, like, MSNBC, CNN and all that, they would refer to the polls naming Polymarket. To get an idea, this is a 100% crypto product. Next, bookmaker. So yeah, this is a betting app, I guess. I don't bet that much, but I like them because I have the Argentinian league, so I can bet in the football there. But yeah, it has the same things that any other betting app would have. And yeah, same thing. I think the mission of this app, it's allowing everyone to bet with no KYC, no restrictions, I guess. This runs on Polygon and Gnosis. And the cool thing that you can also be a liquidity provider and basically get, the ROI that they get. So as in the house gets. So that's pretty cool. And this is just a front end for Azuro. So all the smart contracts are from Azuro. And there are many companies running front ends. Bookmaker is just one of them. And yeah, pretty cool app. I totally recommend it. And I know Ozzy's like a punt. Metrics. So yeah, you can have a look at this later. But yeah, this company made so far $5 million in revenue. And I can tell you they are not more than 10 people. So you make the numbers there. Yeah, in terms of users, I guess an average of 2K, you can say. And revenue looking healthy there. By the way, all of these stats are in Dune Analytics. You just search for whatever app you like and you'll find this kind of metrics. Another good use case for blockchain, it's, I guess, around the music industry and particularly around distribution. So some of the problems are there. Probably you heard of them before, like very bad revenue equality or inequality. There's a big monopoly against labels and now the streaming platforms. Even when you get to the streaming platform, there is the algorithm that you'll never get into the playlist of whatever big band you want to be in if you are an artist. And yeah, royalties are opaque, involving intermediaries, payment delays, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, this is another perfect use case for crypto too. And if you are into this, I recommend you to click in here and read that thread, and you will get a better perspective of what the problems are. And yeah, there's a very good app called Sound. Who knows Sound? Very few, but yeah, you can just go there, don't even create an account and listen to music. And I guess it's similar to any other sort of SoundCloud or whatever, but yeah, you connect your wallet, you listen to songs, collect songs in format of NFTs, free or paid ones, and sign up as an artist. So that didn't update, but you can upload your songs, you can put your royalties and so on. In fact, I have a musician friend of mine. It's an alternative sort of rock band. He doesn't have a clue of crypto. So I sort of help him on this. So this is him. And I was doing just for me to learn myself, right? So there are 4 or 5 songs in there. Most of the NFTs are free, so you can go and collect them. And the cool thing is, you can create splits in a way that, 70% would go for the artist, 30% to me, the manager, yeah? And all kind of things. But yeah, check it out, pretty cool. And yeah, you can collect a lot of songs for free. There is a very, very small fee. This is mainly on base. But yeah, and you can go and just listen to songs and not collect anything, and it's cool anyway. Now, physical collectibles. This is also a really cool use case for blockchain. So I don't do this, but who collects figurines and Pokemons and things? Yeah, you have a couple here. I don't do this, but I know that it's a very good use case. So those are the issues. I'm sure anyone would know them, but provenance issues, pricing opacity, high transaction costs, limited liquidity, blah, blah, blah. And there is this app called Courtyard, where basically if you own a figurine, you would be able to ship it. It's going to be stored in Brinks, the people who stored money and golds and things. And every time that's traded, it's going to be 1% of the revenue share for the person who first shipped it. But yeah, very, very cool app. And yeah, if you're into this, it's pretty cool. And there are a bunch of marketplace, drops, auctions, vending machine. But yeah, this is also a very legitimate use case where blockchain makes more sense than buying it on a shop where you don't even know if it's a real thing or if it's a counterfeit. Next, so Fileverse. So I'm sure everyone here knows of Google Docs or Notion. So this is an, I guess, on-chain alternative where basically you can do the same. I saw you change my slides, Matt. This is the old version, but that's fine. You can scan on this if you have 1 second, or some of you can scan on this one, not on that one. I don't think that works, but yeah, basically you can do everything you do on Google Docs or in Notion, which we use a lot at Libraries. But yeah, it's basically end-to-end encryption. You can do token gating files and yeah, bunch of things. Another good try. Did you get it? Good. You can do it later. Michelle, so this was one of our clients. And this is a super cool app if you are into AI, Matt. You should be trying this. Basically, you have most of the LLMs, but also you have like little bots and things. You can do image enhancing, you have games, you have basically everything that you do in AI now, but in one platform. And also you don't need any tokens or anything to use this, just sign up with your email. And they are really worth a try. And then we have Immortal Game. Who plays chess here? I used to be a chess champion when I was young. Do you know that? Not so much now, but yeah, this is also a game, I guess. It's on Immutable. And they try to be this, play to earn game, but they fail. And I put this just as an example that not everything makes sense on chain. And they put a very good blog post as to why it didn't work for us. They're going to continue running, but they are not anymore on chain. But still, if you like chess, it's a super cool app. So go try it. And same thing, it's like chess.com. You go, 5 seconds, you have someone to play against. And yeah, we're coming to an end. Good on time, yeah. Resources. So yeah, bunch of resources. Our network, it's a newsletter I like. They only cover on-chain stuff. Dune Analytics is the best dashboard, I guess, based community. It's a SQL on-chain, basically. You can put there the name of any app you like, and probably you will find metrics. DeFi Llama, same thing, everything on-chain. And then, as I said before, if you're interested in this, join a community. Consume curated news, not Twitter and like things like that. Find the product you like, join their community, and get involved. Also, I didn't want to mention here, but if you follow any of these airdrop hunters, just by following one, you will get to touch a lot of apps. Might involve some money, but also a good way to be on chain. And yeah, wallets, I guess at this point people know wallets, but these are my favorite ones. In-browser extension, Ravi and Coinbase Wallet, mobile, Sirion and Rainbow, but there are many apps, many wallets, I guess too many at this point, but yeah. Questions?
All right, any questions? Oh, Mr. Faithful with the questions. Mr. Faithful. All right, I'm coming. That was good, Emilio. That's a big round of applause for Emilio. I think that was a very interesting use of 40 minutes of our lives. That was very good. Thank you, Emilio. Question?
I have a million questions, but I've just got one right at the end there. With your wallets there, I noticed MetaMask wasn't on there. Is the reason that MetaMask wasn't on there as a wallet?
Yeah, I don't think it's the best one UX wise. Like user experience is not great. Once you use something like Rabi, for example, you will see why. I think it's still good, and I use it obviously because everything works with MetaMask. But and to be honest, I've been getting better. But yeah, by far is a wallet I use the most, but not so much anymore. Yeah. Which one?
Phantom.
Phantom. Yeah, well, I don't do much Solana, to be perfectly honest. I have Phantom, but Phantom also supports EVMs now, yeah? So yeah, Phantom is good. And Backpack also a good wallet.
While others are thinking of a question, my question would be, I ponder a lot, we're preaching to the converted here tonight, right? We're preaching to the converted really. What do we do with, or do we even care about mainstream? Like, when I think about your journey, I spend a lot of time thinking about, I can see the potential. I can see the use you've given us. I don't know how many, 10 plus use cases there tonight for some of this tech. Is it a case that it just finds its own place? Or do we have to keep bashing people about the head with it? I don't know. Not that I'm saying we're doing that, but I'm just saying what's the balance? And you guys live this, right? You guys at Labris are doing this every day. You got clients, if I might say, coming out of your wazoo, it seems. So, there's work for days. You guys are doing it. And Lockie, who's not here tonight, he spoke recently at the Upside event. I will let you answer in a minute. He spoke recently at the Upside event about he's never worked anywhere except in this industry. Like he's in his mid-20s. I don't know how old's Lockie. God bless him. He's unwell. So God bless you, Lockie, if you're watching this back. But to think that someone's spent their entire career in Web3 in their mid-20s, to me is pretty amazing and quite an opportunity. But I've given you a bit of time to think about an answer to that question.
Yeah, so did you guys see that video? I think it's on a festival or something. There are people sitting down on the grass. There is one person dancing alone for minutes. And then people join him slowly, and then everyone is dancing. Did you know this? Yeah, so I think we need to be that guy. And if we create these kind of applications that are, not so complicated, not so niche, but also not so temporary, people will come.
Not to bang the AI drum, but I liked you had inclusion of the AI. One thing I saw recently was a very basic AI creation, which would let someone on board much easier using a few pre-created steps into being on chain. I found that a very simplistic, but much easier way to get on board than what we know to be the complexities of, jumping on board and, managing your seed phrase and et cetera. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Certainly.
Any others? I'm talking too much. I don't like this. And especially from the ladies in the audience who are always outnumbered.
So you said to avoid the cultish communities. I know the cultish communities, how they would look in the real life, but how would they look in the crypto community? Kind of.
Well, this could be a whole another talk, right? But when you have these leaders, so normally they are very successful at the beginning. So they made a lot of people rich in a way that these people will give basically their lives for this. And there are many examples, not the one I name, but Hex and Terra Luna, we can say now is defunct. But many others that haven't even been so successful. You would read Twitter and you will see how brainwashed these people are. And I'm sad to say I was one of them. So it's never too late. But yeah, you will pretty much spot them, but mainly because of the behavior of their leaders. And I think we had many examples, like Do Kwon with Terra, Mashinsky. Most people are in jail now. There are more now I can think of, but yeah, I think the leader would mark the pace there. Yeah.
I was hoping there would be a supplementary.
So what are the actual signs that it's a cultish one?
Well-
Yeah, I get that this the community that is very brainwashed, but in terms of the leader, how can you define the leader that is creating a
Again,
cult
I
more
don't want to
than-
name names here, but you know someone called Charles Hoskinson? So this platform is struggling with smart contracts, and it's been around before most smart contract platforms. And there are still people that would only touch Cardano apps if there's any. Again, it's not a dig to Cardano, but it's been many, many years for them to launch something workable, and still they haven't done it. Yet you will see conferences and talking in front of thousands of people, telling that they are still the best and everyone should be building on them. And you say, what are you talking about? A bit of delusion there, but yeah, again, I'm sure someone would like Cardano here. I used to buy Cardano and actually it didn't do so bad, but I wouldn't build on Cardano, let's say, if I was a builder.
Thanks for the presentation. That was really cool. I had a question. So Emilio, you showed a lot of like Web3 variants of, I guess, existing Web2 products. One being like Fileverse, being like the Google Docs variant in Web3. What, in your opinion, is your favorite application that, because it is Web3 native, is way better than its Web2 counterpart?
Good question.
You've put him on the spot there.
No, quick, I would say Polymarket, but if you think of something like, like even Stables, which is Aussie, no? A stable is Aussie. So I think that's a super cool app. Yeah, I left aside, financial apps, but I think that's perfect for people to spend their stable coins, which it's very tricky in other countries. Here, just tap your card. That's what they're doing really well, right? They're expanding, and I've been following them. And you can see they're another product with market fit. But I think anything stable coins inherently, it's gonna be adopted quicker. But yeah, I'm just trying to think some apps that I haven't mentioned here. But yeah, let me get back to you on this one.
What about in terms of what Labrys develop on? You guys are big, I'm an ETH fan, but we're all things blockchain. We're not maxis one way or another, but just in terms of the pure Labrys piece, like, do you prefer to develop on EVM compatible, or what can you tell us about what Labrys is doing there in terms of the variety of projects?
You got money?
Have I got money? No. Not me personally. I know people. I'm a super connector.
We'll
So-
develop whatever you pay us. Kidding. Now we are blockchain agnostic, and we've done this year actually a couple of projects in Solana. I think most of it is inherently EVM, not so much Ethereum mainnet now, which is a good thing. Apps are deploying directly on layer 2s. But just this week we signed up a client on Aptos, which is a completely different language. So we don't really care. And sometimes a client would have a preference. And if that makes sense, yeah, sure. If not, we will challenge him. But so normally when they come to us and they have this random idea of where they want to deploy, it's because they think they're going to get grant money by deploying in that. So that's how it normally works. Otherwise, I'm of the opinion that builders should deploy where the users are. For example, most builders that come these days that they don't have a preference, say, okay, why don't you deploy in Base? It's literally exploding in usage, like I wouldn't deploy in a chain that doesn't have any user. You'd rather deploy in a chain that has users already. But yeah, that's just me.
Any other questions? I've got a couple more on that part. It's just really interesting, I think, to me and hopefully to those present, what some of those variables are. I mean, I'm assuming in terms of selecting, even at the most basic level, the chain on which we're going to build, we need to learn very quickly or know the language or languages that are required. Plus also, I guess, is a large part of the conversation around the efficiencies, fees, network access, those kind of things in terms of that equation. What's the equation in your pitch to, recommend a particular way to go?
So again, we don't recommend unless, we are asked to. I think these days there are chains where the fees are very, very cheap, if not, sub cent. And still there are tools to, abstract the gas fees, like account abstraction and many other things. And then, yeah, I think EVM in general, like most of the infrastructure is there, explorers, like oracles, and basically everything is in there. And when you want to deploy in a chain that was born a month ago, you will struggle and, spend more money trying to supplement for the infrastructure that is not there yet. That's why the EVM has a bit of a moat, but, look at Solana, they're doing really well, and I think they're gonna thrive, yeah.
I might just jump in. So I really enjoyed your kind of piece talking about the kind of difference in countries and kind of economies and how this kind of industry lends itself maybe to more use applications across the world. One of the things I'm kind of interested in, as you mentioned, stable coins, but the financial literacy involved in kind of bringing people up to speed or into the industry. Have you thought much about it, and kind of what's your take on it?
Say again?
Sorry. So I think that it's really practical, obviously, but my concern is that the financial literacy of most populations is fairly low. So trying to communicate that to the populace, like for example, El Salvador, even though you have like the wallet and things like that, and the government's trying their utmost to kind of get it into the populace, it seems like the uptake is relatively slow,
Yeah.
even though the use case is so immaculate for it. So
Good question. So we have someone from El Salvador here, and let him speak. But I can talk about Argentina, right? But, like when you have this, very deep need of protect your little or big wealth, you better find the ways and your knowledge and learn. That's why in Argentina, people historically saved what we say dollars under the mattress sort of thing. We say that actually in Spanish, not even in the bank. So that's why people, when, like DAI came about, DAI was one of the first stable coins, very popular in Argentina. People saw it as a way of, not only they are saving in dollars, but now these dollars are much more secure than under the mattress, which can still be breaking into it, right? And just stolen. As long as you know your safety and private keys and all that, you can now save in dollars and that are more secure, right? And then, you see stories on, again, I don't know much of El Salvador, but, in the border between China and Russia, there's a lot of USDT, or in Africa. And, you would guess that these people had less chances of getting, education, yet there's much more adoption. So I think when there's really a need, it will work out. People will find a way, right? But I might be wrong. Anyone from Africa here? Oh.
Emilio, that's been wonderful. Unless there are any other questions, I think we put our hands together for Emilio from Labris. Labris, our event sponsor tonight. Thanks, Emilio. That's been great. Really good. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. And so for next month, we actually have the founder of Hashlock here with us tonight. So I don't want to give too much of Labris time to Hashlock, but Jock has come all the way from Newcastle to be with us tonight. And I know you guys all know each other well anyway. So no jealousy, no rivalry. We're all working together. Crypto's truly global. That's what we've seen tonight. I think crypto can be and is truly global. Join us next month. 13th. It's the second Wednesday next month. We'll be back here for the last time. We might share a tier or two because this has been an awesome venue. Not that the precinct's not. It's just a little bit different. I think that's just about us. Unless I've forgotten anything. Rachel, Renee, committee, Paul, haven't forgotten anything. Thank you everyone for coming. Big round of applause for Labris again. And this has been All Things Blockchain for October 2024. Thank you and good night.